Welcome to FitBody Lifestyle, the show where we dive deep into the world of fitness, health, business, relationships, and the art of living a balanced life. I'm Jami.
And I'm Greg, and we're here to give you the benefit of our experiences in the fitness and bodybuilding industry, the corporate world, running a business, personal development, and building healthy relationships.
Whether you're sweating it out in the gym, hustling in your business, or seeking balance in your everyday life, you're in the right place.
So lace up those sneakers and grab that water bottle, and let's get ready to transform our minds, our bodies, and our lives.
We are so excited to announce the 2025 FitBody Fusion Athlete Summit happening in Phoenix, Arizona on Saturday, February the 8th.
This is your chance to learn from the best in the industry, get hands-on posing critiques, and network with fellow athletes.
You'll hear from top pro athletes and get expert advice on everything to get you competition ready and recovered post-show.
Don't miss this opportunity to work one-on-one with FitBody Fusion coaches and even take home some awesome goodies and giveaways while you're at it.
Everyone is welcome, so register now at fitbodyfusion.com and join us on February 8th in Phoenix, Arizona.
Can't wait to see you. Hey, Fit Body Lifers, it's time for another fusion hack with my beloved wife, Jami, and me today, and welcome to the episode. This episode is airing the day after Christmas. And let's start out by saying not everybody celebrates Christmas, so whether you're celebrating Passover, Kwanzaa, any of the other holidays around this time of year, or if you're a person who doesn't, Hanukkah, did I say Passover?
Yes.
Yeah, Hanukkah, sorry. If you're a person who doesn't celebrate the holidays, we want to be inclusive of all that, whether you do or you don't. Our society kind of carves out this time period during the year. So that's kind of what we want to talk about, is setting up success for the new year. So the next holiday after Christmas is going to be New Year's, and then we get into 2025, which I cannot believe that it's already almost 2025. It blows my mind.
It does.
So let's talk about creating conditions for success in the new year. And we'll probably go into a little bit deeper on this in a full episode, but we thought we'd want to introduce this topic of creating conditions for success in 2025. Where do you want to start?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people do New Year's resolutions, which may or not be effective. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that first, because I think one of the mistakes that people make sometimes is they get overly excited about whatever their resolution is going to be, and it's not sustainable throughout the year.
Right.
So I think, whatever goals you're setting for the new year, making them something that, you're going to stick to. And, not that you don't want to challenge yourself, absolutely challenge yourself, and at the same time, make it reasonable.
And there's something that I think we both learned this in the corporate world is there's an acronym called SMART objectives. And I always think about that relative to New Year's resolutions, because I don't think people follow the guidelines around SMART objectives. But SMART objectives is, the S is specific, the M is measurable, the A, and this is an important one, is achievable, the R is another important one, reasonable, and the T is time bound. So in what is Jami's talking about, achievable and reasonable are two things that I think can sidetrack people in terms of New Year's resolutions. Is hey, I want to win the Super Bowl. Well, for me personally, that's not achievable. It might be, I want to win my fantasy football league Super Bowl. That might be achievable. But if I said, hey, I want to be the Super Bowl winning quarterback, that's not achievable, okay? And nor is it reasonable. It would be specific, it would be measurable, it would be time bound if I said I wanted to win the 2025 Super Bowl, but it's not going to be achievable or reasonable. So really think about those items in terms of your goal. I'm not telling you not to dream big. I'm telling you dream big, but also the science around this is very clear that if you make goals that are not achievable, it can produce a backlash in your willingness to then form other goals. So, and I'm simplifying that in a great deal, but the point is make goals that are achievable, because those small wins make a difference.
Yeah, I think that I love the acronym and what it stands for and what it means. And, one of the things I was thinking is, something, like, I'm not going to eat sugar.
Right.
well, to think that you're not going to eat sugar for an entire year. So then we start to put some parameters around it. I'd like to cut down on sugar, and I'm only going to allow myself, to have something, X amount of days a week, or, like getting more specific. And making it, like you said, achievable, so that you don't feel like, when we set up goals that are not achievable, then it's that constant feeling of
And
failure
not reasonable.
and not reason that constant feeling of failure, and then giving up altogether.
Right.
So we want to create, an opportunity to stretch, and at the same time to make it to where, we're able to have enough leeway so that if we're not 100% perfect all the time, we're not going to just throw the baby out with the bathwater and just give up on our goal completely.
Right. We're focused on progress, not perfection here.
Right.
And so, if you're making a New Year's resolution, for example, if you let's pull that thread a little bit. You're in a situation where you need to reduce your sugar intake. Okay. Maybe your A1C is high, maybe your glucose levels are high. You're wanting to make that change. Okay. Great. Awesome. Now let's make that achievable and reasonable for you. And maybe the achievable part is, okay, I drink soda. I drink full on sugared soda every day. And maybe I drink 6 cans of that every day. Okay, I'm going to reduce my intake of sugared soda to 3 cans per day. Man, if you don't think that's going to make a difference, just do it. Okay. I go back to this story. I don't know if we've told this before, but Jami was working very early on in this coaching career with a person who was morbidly obese. They were close to 400 pounds. The milk thing is what I'm thinking of with this story. And I had not seen this person for a few months, and the next time I saw them, they had lost like 30, 40 pounds. And it was several months after, and I turned to Jami and said, what the hell did you do? Did you put him on this program? Did you do this? How much cardio? How much weightlifting? Blah, blah, blah. And I just went down this litany of things. And she said, I just told him to stop drinking milk. And it was that achievable and reasonable goal. It wasn't that he couldn't have other dairy. It was just milk, because this person happened to be drinking a lot of milk.
Right.
And
Over a gallon of whole milk per day. I mean, that's a lot of fat.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, and I couldn't agree more, like picking like goals, especially when you're talking about like a New Year's resolution, something you're wanting to implement. I think like training would be another good one too. If you're somebody who's been out of the gym for a while, and you're like, okay, I'm going to start back on my fitness routine. Well, you don't want to go from not training for a long period of time to training 5 days, 6 days a week.
Right.
Like that's a lot. So, setting some realistic goals, maybe you start with a step goal and 2 days a week, an upper body and a lower body day, or a yoga class once a week, or, something like that. So I think, just really kind of sitting down and thinking about like what's important to you, what are you wanting to achieve, and then setting some goals that are realistic and that you can. I like a goal I can beat. It feels good to go, okay, my goal is a minimum of two training sessions per week. So then when I hit 3 and 4, hey, I feel real good.
You've accomplished a lot.
Versus me going, okay, I'm going to train 6 days a week. Well, that might not be reasonable every week. And so then when I hit 5 or 4, now I'm like, oh, well, I've failed now. So, oh, well.
We all know the surge of people coming into the gym. They're the New Year's resolutions people.
Right.
I mean, all you got to do is go on Instagram anytime, or if you're a gym goer, that there's a whole throng of people that come into the gym after New Year's for that New Year's resolution rush. And that the scale is going like this for their attendance after those first few weeks. Every week it's a few less people. But for you, if you're a regular gym goer, that can be really tough to manage, because there's a lot of new people in the gym making those New Year's resolutions. And it takes me back when I was a personal trainer, back living in Salt Lake City, Utah, working for a Nautilus gym. We would see that big influx of people coming in, and they would always come back in and they would push way too hard, way too far in that first workout. The first workout's the easiest workout. It's that second workout where you're sore from the first one that's the hard one to get back for, and then the third one and the fourth one. But if you set yourself up for failure by establishing a goal that's too far out or too unachievable, all it's going to do is produce a level of depression that I failed my goal.
Yeah. Well, and you can always have a goal that ramps up too. You
Ex-
could say, quarter one, I'm going to do this, quarter two, I'm going to do the next level and so on and so on. And then that gives you the ability to build upon, we're really big on creating good habits.
Right.
So, if to create and solidify a habit, like it's going to take 3 or 4 months of consistency. So, that's why I like the quarterly goal, give yourself, smaller things to get, really solid. If you're wanting to change 5 to 10 things about your lifestyle all at once, the chances of you really
Pick
making
one.
it stick is not going to be as strong as if you pick 1, 2 max. Get that one really down. Maybe it's improving your sleep, going to bed, at a better time. I mean, there's so many things you can think of that are going to improve your health. I know for me, I can sometimes get a little bit off track with taking my supplements regularly. So, it's just a matter of me setting aside time to, I have my supplement containers and, they take me through 20 days. If I'll sit down and do the whole thing, it's just under a month and it'll last me. So it's just, I'm going to, I might say my resolution is, every 20 days, I'm going to refill my supplement container and make sure that I'm being consistent with that. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. I mean, for you, if you've never taken supplements before, maybe it's like, okay, I'm going to start taking vitamin D. I'm going to start taking, a multi or something like that. It can be something, again, these are things that are a little bit more, attainable, a little bit, very, very specific, and can be life-changing in a lot of good ways.
And as we wrap this up, I want to remind everybody that just because you set a goal that is achievable, there's goals and then there's stretch goals. Okay. So as you're writing out, and by the way, we strongly, strongly advocate writing out your goal. The data on
And putting it somewhere visible.
That's right. The science behind your ability to achieve a goal that you've written down versus one that you keep in your head is pretty compelling. You have a much higher chance of accomplishing that goal if you write it down. If you share that goal and enlist people around you to help you achieve that, to hold you accountable to that goal, you're going to have even a bigger chance of success. Hey, Jami, this is my goal for this year. I want you to help me and hold me accountable to it, so that every time Jami sees me, if it's a gym goal, hey, did you go to, how many times this week did you go to the gym? That also helps you. So be as specific as you can. I will go to the gym 2 days per week. If it's 2 days per week and you go 3 days a week, guess what? You just hit your goal and your stretch goal. Okay. And you can write that down in that SMART objective. You can say, my goal is 2 days per week. My stretch goal is 3 days per week. My ultimate goal is 4 days per week. Okay. You can do that. You can set levels out. Measurable. How will you measure success? That's a key part of this. Define what success looks like. Is it body composition, how much you're going to weigh, what your body fat is, your measurements, whatever? Is it something else? But definitely define that measurable aspect to your goal so that you know what success looks like. Achievable, we've talked about. Reasonable, we've talked about. Time bound. So time bound can be for the year. I prefer making it more of a monthly or quarterly thing. This in quarter one, I'm going to go to the gym two times per week. In quarter two, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times per week or whatever and ramp it up. But make sure that you're bounding that by time. The more specific and more time oriented you can be, the more it's going to help you achieve that success. Yeah.
Yeah. And, and then I like the idea of sharing it with someone, and maybe you create an accountability partner. Maybe we check in with each other once a month or once a quarter. And
Text
did you
thread,
hit yours?
WhatsApp thread.
Did you hit yours?
Right.
I saw, there was a period of time where a lot of our athletes, I think it was during COVID, were
Yep.
holding each other accountable to do some cardio. And we even did a challenge during that time where you did a certain number of, push-ups or, whatever it was, once a day, and then people would mark off their calendar and hold each other accountable. That can be a lot of fun too. I mean, you could create a game with it,
You can create community.
Yeah. And so I always think those things are fun too. And then that way, I mean, I'm doing it right now with Drew Brannon, and, he and I sat down and put together a challenge for, we're challenging each other because it kind of gets that little competitive spirit going. And so it's been fun, and it's been getting me back on track with doing some of the things I had got off track a little bit with. So, these are all great ideas, and you don't have to wait for New Year's to do them. You can set these kind of goals anytime during the year, create accountability, whether it be through a coach or friend or family member, those kinds of things. So, have fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think that wraps us up for today. Thank you for tuning into this Fusion Hack.
We hope you have a happy new year.
And we hope you have a happy new year. Let's make 2025 a fantastic year. We're going to do that when we do it together. So hug those people around you, squeeze them. Let's make this year a good year, but let's make it that way together. You guys know our favorite saying, which is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's what we want to do. So like, comment, subscribe, leave your feedback, and remember the 3 B's. Be good to yourself.
Be good to each other.
And be safe. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to FitBody Lifestyle. We hope today's episode has left you feeling motivated and equipped to tackle your fitness goals, business challenges, and the daily dance of life. Remember to value progress over perfection. Life's tough enough alone. Find the chosen family around you to help you along the way.
If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FitBody Fusion.